anything possible, I'm gonna have sex with them because maybe that is what is really gonna keep them interested. Once I give it up to them, man, I'm really gonna get them in because wait till they get a little bit of this. Ooh, they get a little bit of this. They're gonna be in it to win it. What's up, everybody? Listen, man, I'm so happy to be here. Of course, I'm Chris Marvell, and we are here with another episode of the Pivot Lab podcast. I'm happy. Listen, it's about to be summertime. And down here in Atlanta, Georgia, summer comes very early, or at least the feelings of summer come very early. And I just think that, honestly, who doesn't like more sunshine? Who doesn't need more sun in their life? Who doesn't want, more happiness? And this is the time where many people they're outside, they're having a good time. They are, trying to figure out, what's the play for the summer? Are they dating? Are they, going to be solo and having a good time? Like, what are they doing? But the married people, this is the time where you reconnect with your partner, get outside a little bit more, maybe get some family time, vacations, the eating outside, rooftops, man. Summer is a vibe. And right now, my kids are actually going to be out of school within the next week or so as of this recording. And so they're happy to be, out of that school and just the pressure of waking up early and homework and yada, yada, yada. But listen, we are here because I want to make sure that you are not putting yourself in a position of being with people this summer that you don't need to be with. And let's just call it a buck. Many of us call it love, and you tell people that you're committed. You say you're loyal, but deep down, you know that you're trying to perform CPR on something that's already emotionally dead. Dead. And I'll be honest, I don't think enough people have kind of had these conversations with us, so you may have experienced this before. But I want you right now, wherever you are, as I'm about to go into this, I want you to really focus on where you are right now and what's going well in your life and just be like, yo, I don't know what I'm doing. This dating thing, I have no clue. Chris, I've tried the dating thing. Chris, I've given it my all. I'm 35, I'm 40. I'm single and I'm tired of mingling, bruh. Like, I don't want to do this no more. Like, I don't understand. I'm all of this I got to give. Listen, I'm fine as wine and I just can't get anybody to take me out 2 times. I just need somebody to put some pressure on my situation. And it feels as if I just have more pressure to fix a situation than I do pressure to grow through something. Like, that's a different pressure when it feels as if somebody is putting their hand, on your back like, yo, I'm for you. You need to make the move. I want to be in your life. You need to show me you want to be in mine. That's a whole different pressure. But it feels as if to the people that I know that the pressure's the other way around. It feels like the pressure is, I'm for you. Please show me what it is that you want to bring to the table for me. Are you committed to me? Are you into me? Like, are you, or is it just me feeling like I'm trying to get you to come along with me? That's exhausting. And that is the CPR that I mentioned, where it feels like you're doing the mouth to mouth, trying to put life into this situation, this relationship, and it don't got to be romantic. It could be friendships, where it feels like you're the one that has the reason that y'all talk, the reason that y'all meet up for dinner and for lunch is because of you. And that's exhausting. And you keep breaking your own heart because you're trying to hold this thing together. And you don't find that other people are willing to even meet you halfway. We all know, and that's the starting point for you showing me that you got some skin in the game is meet me halfway. When if somebody's child stayed at my house, I don't want to have to take them all the way back home. I already did my part, and having and hosting them in my house. I fed them some pizza, right? I let them go in my refrigerator. They could play video games with my kids. Probably took them out somewhere to have some fun. And now you want me to also bring them all the way back home? I'm not doing that. You can meet me halfway to show me that you cared enough about what I did to meet me there. I'm asking, are the people in your life that you are trying to do CPR on, when have they showed you that they're willing to meet you halfway? And I mean, I get it. You start thinking about this whole thing, and then panic takes over, and it's like, man, if I don't fix this, then this is gonna fall away, and I'm not gonna have the ability to, be dating this person. And they're so dope. Like, I could see, like, they got the tea leaves that they could really be dope, and they're very nice to me, and they send me the good morning text, or this is my person, this is my partner, this is my friend, and I don't want to miss them. So what do I need to do to rescue them? I need to, okay, let me show them some more attention. Okay, I'm showing some more attention. I'm let them know that, hey, they're very important, and I'm going to, really speak to the part of them that they want to be spoken to a certain way. And I'm going to, start love bombing them, even though I don't know I'm doing it. I'm going to do anything possible. I'm going to have sex with them, because maybe that is what, is really going to keep them interested. Once I give it up to them, man, I'm really going to get them in, because wait till they get a little bit of this. Ooh, they get a little bit of this. They're going to be in it to win it. Or I'm going to give them some money. That's what I'll do. The money will keep them with me. Maybe it's the money. And they're going to see that, I got power to make them happy with my finances, because I took care of my business in life, Chris. Got my degrees, got a good job, I got a good business. And I can help keep people in my life through finances. And what you learn is they still walk away. And because those aren't the things that was meant to keep them. Because maybe they're not meant to stay in your life. And you keep trying to fix them. And that's what is costing you so much time. And if we were being honest for a minute, it's not just about being in love. You're in an emotional assignment that you've created. You've created this assignment, a role that you've taken on. You put on a uniform and gave yourself a title called fixer. And you've tied your identity to being the one who always shows up. Now, let me be clear. Chris, who qualified you to have this conversation? Me, my past, my history. Because I know for a fact that it is easy to show up for people when they don't show up for you, if that's what you're accustomed to doing. I always tell y'all, man, in my childhood, I felt that I had to show up, for other people. And I became very accustomed to that being okay, that eventually what they will do is they will see my good deeds, they will see my good works, and they will then come and pour adulation and admiration on me, because look what all the dope stuff I've done for them. And they'll come and they'll be like, oh my God, Chris, you were such a good friend. Look what you've done. Oh, I love you so much. You're such a great family member. Oh, I love you so much, because you have just showed us so much attention. You gave us money when we didn't ask for it. You sent us nice text messages when we didn't send them to you. And you learn that it doesn't matter, because they are not seeing it the way that you want them to see it. And so you got to take off your rescue 911 hat, and you have to learn that's not the route to get in love. That's not it. And you've trained yourself, because if you don't rescue them, then who will? Right? That's what you've been thinking. You've been thinking about your family, you've been thinking about your relationships, your children. But the truth is, it's not about that being love. It's really just survival programming. And somewhere back there, you've learned to over function, to over help, to stay useful, to pour even when your cup is empty. You are sitting there with the cup and you like, I ain't got no more in here to give. I'm trying to scrape it out, because that's what makes you feel worthy. Because you have a position, right? You have value that you've created, you've uplifted. Because if you can create value in being helpful or pouring out, then that makes you feel like you have a place. The problem is when your cup stays upside down, there's never a moment in which you can pour back into it. And what you're really hoping for is that when I pour out, somebody's going to see that I've been pouring out on them, and they're going to come to me and say, hey, I'm going to flip this back over for you because I think you're so dope, and I'm going to pour into you myself. And you wait on that moment, but you stay upside down. And you're waiting for this to change, your love life. You pour out your body, you pour out your money, you pour out your mind, your time, and you're like, okay, if I do that, then eventually somebody's going to pour and tip me back over and pour into me because I really want to pour into them. But somehow, some way, this mechanism started getting broken, and you got used to just pouring out. And I would tell you, I think that many of you are probably dealing with a level of emptiness where you've poured out and you look at the relationship and you say, this feels empty. It feels empty because you don't have anything left to give and they haven't given you anything. So now you're this grown person trying to apply the same logic that you did as a kid to your adult life. And it's breaking you. And you've built all of your connections off of patching up other people's chaos because that makes you feel useful. And what that creates is resentment, numbness, silence. And if you're being honest, it creates bitterness. And you're not ready to admit that yet. The reason that people don't tell us this is because they're dealing with it. They don't even know how to tell you because they're dealing with it in their own life. Your mother's dealing with bitterness. Your father is dealing with resentment. And the people around you are numb, honestly. And I'm saying that because I've been there. Mad, pissed off, wondering why they're not getting their payback. And you're sitting there holding this bag because you've been spending so much time helping other people and they're not helping you. And I think that I'm tired. I would be tired of that if I was you. Giving your piece to people who wouldn't even provide you a moment of clarity. You're adjusting to their needs and your tone has to be perfect and your values, and you're trying to align yourself with them so well, trying to just keep people emotionally comfortable, and you're silently shrinking. I had to wake up to that in business where it's like, okay, yeah, I want your business, but what is it costing me to want your business? Am I still me? The reason I work for me is so that I can do what I want. I take care of my customers, but I want to do what I want. I don't want to be seen as lesser than. If I wanted to be seen as that, I would just work somewhere that didn't care about their employees. But I don't work for myself to be like making sure that I'm doing all the perfect things and, yes, sir, I just want to make sure I get your business every month. I'm not doing that because people who value you won't even allow you to be in that position. Like, you ever notice when you're like exhausted, like after a conversation and you're after being with them, it's like, boy, that was a lot. I cannot believe I was on the phone with them that long. That was exhausting. Oh my gosh. What were we talking about? Them? Whole time we were talking about them. I'm tired. I'm good. I don't have the energy. And that's because being needed and being loved ain't the same thing. You thought that listening to them would have done you a service. Being on the phone with them, being the ear, doing all the great, nice things. And then you look up and it's like, well, they haven't asked one thing about me. And maybe I'm exhausted because I took on so much of their burdens and I didn't get to give out any. It wasn't an exchange. And an exchange is what love is based on. I need to make an exchange. Again, meeting me halfway, 50%. I need to be able to give and so I can get. And I need that exchange. And needing you means they depend on you. Loving you means they show up for you with or without an emergency. And the way that most of us want to feel loved is when people show up for us without an emergency. Somebody thinking about you without there needing to be a reason for them to think about you. Everybody will call if somebody passed away, if you were injured in a car accident, right? That's when everybody wants to show up. But the truth is, can people show up for you when there's no emergency? Are you willing to say, hey, I'm going to take some time out of my day and come rock with you? I'm going to take some time out of my day and figure out what it is that you need. But the problem is you never even put people in the position to do that because you're addicted to being needed. And you keep bleeding out in relationships that don't pour back and wondering, why am I so empty? It's because everybody knows you're going to come back around. And you're not even asking them that. You're not even really saying, hey, do you like what I'm doing for you? Or they're not even coming to you saying, I need you to fix me. They're just letting you. They're just letting you do it because it benefits them if you keep coming back to do it and staying broken because you keep doing all the work. You're doing all the work, all the friendship work. You're listening to all the drama. You're doing all the work. You're listening to your boss. You're picking up all your boss's slack. You're doing all the stuff. And it's like, yeah, well, why do I need to do anything if they're doing everything? I don't need that. So I want to just tell you, because I'm not here to just like drag you in the, I don't want to do that. That's not what I'm here to do. I want to give you something that you get out of this, I don't care if you're a millionaire, if you are poor and on welfare, there's something in your life, whether it is a colleague, a partner, whatever it is that you need to break the cycle from. So the first thing we got to do is just name it. And you say this to yourself: I'm not loving them, I'm managing them. It's your kids. It does not feel like I'm loving them. This does not feel like a loving relationship. I'm managing them. And that's a hard truth, but it can be freeing. Yes, I feel like we should be in a relationship, but it feels like I'm keeping them going to teach them how to love me. And I don't want to do that. I don't want to just coast them along and ask them the right questions and to try to see if they're still interested week after week, because that's management. No, I want investment. I want somebody who is investing their love progressively over time so that we can grow. If I had to do all that, then I might as well move on and try again. I'm not doing all that. I'm not doing it. Meet me halfway, 50-yard line. Meet me halfway to let me know that you're interested. Then what you got to do is you got to reclaim your boundaries. And boundaries is not just saying don't do that. Nope. It is, if you keep doing that, I won't stay in this. If you keep doing that, I won't keep coming up and showing up. That's boundaries. It's not, hey, don't do that. I don't like. Nope. It's if you keep ignoring my calls, if you don't make an effort, if you stop showing up and providing value, I will also stop showing up to provide value. You got to be okay with disappointing people who keep benefiting from you and not giving you nothing in return. That's okay. Sometimes people are very accustomed to other people pushing through for them. And they think and believe that that's just the way that it is. And here you are, you're another person doing the same thing. So they expect you to do that for them. You got to just stop and say, enough's enough. I know this relationship is being run by me. And if I stop showing up, then the truth needs to come out. If the relationship dies because you stop, then there wasn't a relationship. I'll give you a great example. You have a car battery that is barely making it. They say the best way to test the battery and the life of the battery is if I plug this up and it turns on, then cool. But if I unplug it and it dies, then that means you need a new battery. So many of you need a new relationship because without you, there is no relationship. Truth of the matter. Without you, soon as you unplug, you never hear from them again. Soon as you unplug, and stop, having sex with them, you never hear from them again. As soon as you unplug and stop sending them money, suddenly they're not interested. The battery is dead. It's just that you're confused because you're the one keeping it alive. Then you need to grieve this whole role, this fixer role. You got to grieve it. And I'm not just talking about walking away from a person. You need to be walking away from the story about who you are to people and who you're supposed to be. Who said that you were supposed to be the fixer to the nation? Who said that you were the one that rose from the concrete and now it's your job to make sure everybody else does the same thing? I want to teach you something. I don't know if you realize this. Not everyone wants your rescue. A lot of people, ask yourself, for all the people that I'm rescuing, how many people actually ask me to do this for them? And it's hurting me way more than it's benefiting me. I'm taking the brunt of their criticism, their anger, their discomfort. I'm taking on all of that because what I feel is my civic duty to pull them out from their situation. If I feel like it's my duty to pull love out of them so that I can show them how dope I am of a person to date, I got to pull it out of them to like be the hustler that they need to be for their family. No, that's not my role. My role is to be the best version of me, healed, delivered, and ready for action that I can be. My job is not to make sure that you see me. That's not my job. And I need to grieve that role because what's going to happen is if once I do that, I now have to go a season in which there's a level of discomfort because people aren't going to necessarily run towards me. Some people are chasers and they get off on the chase. So now you stop showing them attention, they start showing up. That's also unhealthy because the minute that they do show up, then you think that they do love me. Oh, maybe I had it wrong. You start pouring love back on them, they run. So they're a runner chaser combo. They don't want too much attention because that's unfamiliar. It's discomforting to them because they're not healed in some spaces of their life. And so the minute you start pouring love back, they run. Now you're in a vicious cycle of I need to pull back in order for them to pull in. But the minute I pull in is the minute they pull back. And that's a yo-yo. I don't have time. I don't play games with my relationships. So I'm just telling you, grieve the role of a fixer. Who asked you to be that? And recognize when people are playing games with you in your time. You got to grieve that. The part of you that thought that your value was tied to being a fixer and to holding it together and to being the strong one. That's not your role. I wrote a book called Love Laws that you all should pick up where I talk about a lot of this in the book. All right. The link will be right here in the section here in the description. I want you to grab that. Where I talked about love laws and how to actually communicate and boundaries, because I think it's important that we have a foundation of that, because if we don't, we'll never know when to say, I'm not doing this no more. We'll just keep doing stuff for people and they're just walking all over our life, and your life is worth way more than that. And I want to say this, you can't love people into becoming a version that you need. You can't hold yourself hostage to their potential until they arise to it. You can't keep trying to build a future with someone who won't even show up for the present. And I know that to you, letting go is going to feel like failure. And that's why you keep working and fixing. But staying in it is killing you slowly and softly. Got to throw that in there. Right? Shout out to Lauren. That's the real loss, is that you are disintegrating month after month, year after year, to the point where you're going to look up and you're not even going to recognize yourself. You're going to wonder, how did I get so far away from who I was? And you're not going to be heartbroken over them. You're going to be heartbroken over the fact that you betrayed yourself for months and years, staying, hoping that this person would change. And I want you to let this be the last time, whether it's a friendship, whether it is a relationship, whether it's your kids, a partnership with a career, whatever it is. Let this be the last time. No more saving them. Don't save her. She don't want to be saved. Right? That was a real thing, a real moment. But this time, you got to save you. All right? You have to save you. If this hit, you already know that you've been living in this moment. You've been carrying it. Now it's the time to do something different. All right? I want you to jump into the Pivot Lab. That's where we talk through all of this. That's where people like you stop bleeding out in silence and you start taking your power back. The link is in the description below. We don't perform clarity over there. We practice it in that community where we are doing everything possible to become the best version of who we are meant to be. We're raising our income levels. We're holding ourselves more accountable. And we're having conversations just like this, raw, real, and unfiltered and honest. And I want to see you inside, okay? Thank y'all so much for tuning into the Pivot Lab podcast. Make sure that you like, share, and comment. This is your boy, Chris. I'll see you guys soon.